All right, good evening, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PreStream podcast for Sunday, the 1st of May, 2022. Now, today is going to be momentous for a variety of reasons. First of all, it's a new month, which means we're starting up a whole new slew of stuff. It means that this morning I'll be announcing a new members goal, and it also means that this month there'll be some new celebratory events and special things going on. Also, today was momentous for a completely different reason. Ladies and gentlemen, today is arguably going to be the most challenging stream I've ever had of any From Software game ever in the history of them making games. Because today, I am going mano a mano, tete-a-tete, head up, one-on-one. That's a lot of words that all pretty much mean the same thing. With Malenia, the Sword of Mikola, the hardest boss in FromSoft history. Okay? People have been waiting for this for a very long time. Ever since I started the playthrough. And within the week of the game being out, people knew who the hardest boss was. And the hype began. Okay? Although admittedly, first it was Radahn. Oh, Radahn. And then after everyone beat Radahn, it was like, okay, don't worry. People will get to the end of the game and then they'll start crying, right? So, here we are. It's taken over 2 months for me to get this far. Over 110 hours of gameplay. But we are here in the end game. The thing is, she's not even the final boss. She's the final optional boss. Because after this, there's a mandatory story area you got to go to. And apparently a bunch of more stuff to do. But that's all mandatory for the end of the game, and then that's the finale. So now would be the time to do this. If I don't, it's like now or never, okay? Now, I have fought her already for about an hour, but it was more kind of learning than anything else, trying to learn her patterns and trying to see what she's capable of. And what I've found is the following. I could basically beat her with my build and my strategy if she didn't have this one ridiculous attack. That I guess someone in the comments left a comment said it was called like waterfowl slash or something like that. Waterfowl dancing slash. It's ridiculous. It's one of the most silly attacks I've ever seen. 3 insane flurries of multiple hit slashes that are floating in the air that track you and follow you. And if you get hit once, you basically get stun locked and get hit a ton of times, leading to insane amounts of damage. The other problem is, not only does it take all your health, but she heals when it hits you. So it's like a double whammy. Most people have a lot of issue trying to figure out what to do during this attack. I've already gotten so many suggestions in the comments of the video and people contacting me. Oh, you gotta run and you gotta jump away, then roll and roll. No, you gotta roll forward, roll back, pause, roll forward, pause, roll forward, roll back, roll up your sleeves, roll up your pants, take a shit in the middle of the fucking battlefield, and hopefully she'll slip on it. Okay, thanks a lot. But I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to figure this out. There's a million things to try, I guess. And the thing is, I've been playing against her for about an hour so far. But I've not used any of my essentially best or real builds. The whole game, alright, I was using a faith build, a hybrid faith build that was kind of like strength faith, so that I could use incantations when I needed them, but that I had a big, heavy-hitting faith build weapon set. I went for halberds, I went for swords, I was using all kinds of different faith build weapons during the course of the game. But then, I was doing the Gold Mask NPC plotline, and for that one, you need intelligence. So I respect to have a high intelligence to do it, and since then, which is probably like 15 hours ago, right? I've been using this dual intelligence greatsword build, which I actually like. It's fun and it looks nice, but it just does not have the reach, nor does it do the damage output of the faith build that I was previously using. So likely what I will do today in Elden Ring is I will start with the intelligence build. I will see how far we can get with it. Maybe try it, another half an hour of it. And if I'm really not getting anywhere, I think what we will do is we will respec. And I have a couple ideas of things to try. We could just go pure faith, similar to how I have the pure intelligence right now. We could go with like 80-something faith and see how that works. If that doesn't work, because I will figure out maybe I'll do some incantations or whatever. If none of that's working, I did in my phone, took a picture of my build when I respect, so I can get back to that level and then just add any additional levels that I've put into the build since then, into like Vigor or whatever, and go from there, okay? So, we're going to see what happens today. Like I said, big fight feel, pretty exciting. I know you guys are excited. We have 350 people on stream, and I just started the pre-stream, okay? Last time around when this started up, it was 800 people or more on the stream. Now, I know people will be very hyped for this. At the very same time, you're going to have the troll element. We're going to have people coming into this stream literally just to crap on me, to laugh at my misfortunes, to count the deaths. It's expected, all right? But I'm just going to forewarn everyone and say this up front. Don't be nasty to either me or your fellow chatters. I don't want to see fights erupting in the chat. I don't want to see people insulting each other or me. Just relax. We can all laugh at my misfortune and say, wow, Phil's sucking ass, he's losing or whatever. That's fine. But please don't take it above that. I want this stream to still maintain a nice feeling, a nice vibe to it. You know, yes, it's a tough fight. It's pretty much the toughest fight I've ever done in these games. Yes, I'm going to die a million times. I'll probably get very close and die and die and die. And it's going to be fun. That's no excuse for people to be nasty to each other. All right? And you guys know the rules. You know that I don't allow certain kinds of stuff. Please just don't even go there. All right? Fair enough? I just want to say that up front. I hope you guys understand that. I'll actually even say that when I start recording the gameplay as well. All right? So, without further ado, let's briefly go through the schedule. Let's then get to the new members goal for the month. We'll talk about that for a bit, okay? And I have one story I want to talk about this morning that actually relates to YouTube. And it's an issue. It's not a huge issue, but it's still an issue. And I just want to clarify some stuff for people that seem to have this misconception about YouTube, okay? Okay. Now, today is Sunday, the 1st of May. Yes, Elden Ring is the first stream. It's all about Malenia and trying to take her out. If I take her out, great. Then we'll continue on with the game, which is the final dungeon and all of that. If not, it's fine as long as I'm making progress and learning. That's my attitude right now is if I play for an hour and I finally get to the end of her first form, great. If I get to hour 2, right, and now I'm in her second form and I can consistently kind of get to it and I see what it is, great. Even if I don't beat her today, as long as I learn and I'm improving over the course of the stream, that's what I really care about, okay? All right, that's today's stream. Sorry, someone said muted. I'm not muted. You're just deaf. Later tonight, to unwind from the obvious incredible amount of stress that I'm probably going to undergo on today's stream, okay? The late stream tonight at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time is Skyrim After Hours. On this stream, I'll be relaxing, all right? I'll be having a good time. We're starting up the Dragonborn DLC, which I'm very excited for. It should be a good time, a good interactive time with my viewing audience, and I hope that you guys will join me for that later tonight, if at all you can, okay? It should be a good one. 2 thumbs up. Okay. Then, tomorrow, it's more Elden Ring. What? Yeah, that's right. It's more Elden Ring tomorrow. Originally, it wasn't going to be, but I rescheduled my shuffled around my schedule for a reason that I'll explain in just a moment. So, today, it's Malenia. Tomorrow, if I don't beat Malenia today, it's more Malenia. We're just going to stick with this fight until I beat her, okay? So, it's going to be tough, but I'm going to tough it out. Now, if I do defeat her, and we get to the end, and I do really well, maybe I can beat the game tomorrow, but that's super unlikely. I really would doubt that I'm going to, like, find a way and get luck out and steamroll through her today. It's probably going to be an entire stream of just her, if I even beat her today, which I might not. All right? And I'm okay with that, as long as I'm making progress. Okay? And then the end game, I don't know how tough it is. It could be easy and I turbo through it, or it could be really difficult. I don't know. I don't know what's coming. I have no idea. Okay? So, I'm excited. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but it'll be end game of Elden Ring either way. And then tomorrow night, the late stream on Monday night, is the conclusion of Bug Snacks, the Isle of Big Snacks DLC. It was released last week, well, Thursday, and I played it on Friday. Didn't beat it, but I got a good chunk into it, and I'm excited to do more of that and see how it all ends, okay? Now, I'm off from streaming on Tuesday, okay? When I return on Wednesday, it's the 4th of May, or as some people like to say, May the 4th. So now you're going to understand why did I shuffle my schedule around, because I'm currently playing a game called Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and it would probably make sense to play it on the day that worldwide people recognize the Star Wars franchise, May the 4th. All right? So on May the 4th, I am playing Lego Star Wars. This will be exciting. It'll be continuing on with the plot of the second movie, which is called The Last Jedi. That's the second movie of the modern trilogy, I should say. And we'll go from there. It should be entertaining, okay? And then that night, we're actually going to be finishing I Am Fish on the late stream. I've gotten to the final stage of the game, which I've heard is lengthy and challenging, and we shall wrap it up on Wednesday night. So, Thursday, it would be Elden Ring, but it's not, because there's a new game coming out called Trek to Yomi. This is a new game releasing on Game Pass. It's a cool samurai game with a black and white art style, very old school, timey film, and I'm very interested to check it out and see what it is. It's free on Game Pass, new release, why not give it a shot, right? And so then Thursday night will be more Skyrim, and so Friday, okay, would be the final, well, maybe final stream of Elden Ring. Again, I don't know. I guess we'll see coming up. But yeah, possibly Friday would be the conclusion stream of Elden Ring, depending on how things go during the week. Okay? Or not. All right? My goal is thus. For the next 3 weeks, every weekend I want to do something hype. This week, it's the Malenia boss fight today. Next weekend, Endgame / End of Elden Ring, and as I've already previously announced, I'm doing a formal review of Elden Ring once I beat it. But we got to beat it first so I can find out how and when I can schedule that, okay? And then, the week after, on May 14th, I announced this yesterday, so listen up. Ladies and gentlemen, special celebration incoming. On Saturday, May 14th, I am doing a 1-year return to YouTube anniversary spectacular here on DSPGaming, because it's been 1 year since I said, adios, unprofessional Twitch TV, hello, YouTube. And I came back to re-embrace this channel and try to make it my one destination on the internet for all of my content. And there's been a lot of wins and a lot of losses, you know, hits and misses. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down that memory lane, and we're going to celebrate that. We're going to talk all about it. But also, that day, I will be doing DSP reacts to Down the Rabbit Hole Dark Side Phil. That's right, the Down the Rabbit Hole video that was made about me 5 years ago. I'll be reacting fully to it, giving all kinds of supplemental information, reacting to everything that happens in that video, and letting you know what is completely true, what's partially true, and what really was completely untrue. Most of it is true. Some of it is kind of close to the truth, and there's a few things that are dead wrong. So we're going to cover all of that in that video, okay? In addition, on that very day, we are also going to be doing a live Feasting with the King. And so, keep your eyes and ears peeled, because what we're going to do is the next week, we're going to talk about cuisines for me to try, and then we're going to actually have a poll that week before to determine what cuisine I will actually have on that day live during the stream. There will also be a gameplay element, okay? I'm not sure. Just want to make sure there was no noise in my mic. Someone has said this sounded like my mic had noise behind it. There's no noise. There's going to be a gameplay element, but I'm not sure what the gameplay element is going to be yet. Okay? We have to figure that out. We'll talk about it. See what games am I playing at that time. At that time, I'll probably be playing WWE 2K, and Skyrim, as well as maybe another new playthrough in there. Maybe I'll be playing a classic game at that point. I don't know what I'll be doing at that point. So we'll have to see. We'll have to think about what we want to do as the gameplay element for kind of the latter half of that stream. Okay? But it will be a marathon-style event. It should be exciting and fun. Again, that is on Saturday, May 14th. Mark your calendars. Cancel all your engagements. Cancel all your appointments. Make sure you have no other responsibilities that day. You must be here. If you're not, you're missing out. Of course, what I'm doing is absolutely going to be more important than anything else, right? Anything else in your life can't possibly be more important than this stream. Under no circumstance should you miss the stream and watch it on demand later. I'm just kidding, of course. Okay. So, that's coming up. That's the rough schedule for now. All right, there'll be more details as we get coming forward. Now, What I would like to do this morning, I would like to set up the new members goal for the month of May live. Okay, now, man, as much as I would like to set this up and say 450, that just seems like a tall order. You know what I'm saying? 450 members seems like a really rough one. It's very tough to get members on YouTube, and it was very difficult to get the last 50 members and hit 400 over the course of April. I almost feel like if I set it up for 450, even if the goal, the end goal, is very desirable, because I'm about to announce something that I think you guys are really going to love, okay? I don't know if we're going to hit 450. Let me ask you this. I'm going to pose this question to my live viewing audience, okay? Honestly, do you guys believe that if right now I propose something so good and so desirably tempting that people would definitely want to see it, all right, would I hit 450? Or do you actually think that it's just unattainable? That because of the YouTube membership system not being attractive, not having nearly as many features as Twitch, because you can't gift memberships on YouTube, do you think that it's like just unreachable? All right? Because the idea I have, all right, is interesting. And the idea I have is fun. And the idea I have is something that has definitely been added to the list of things people have wanted to see for a very long time. I know. Anso Camaro says it would have to be crazy to get that much. It already dropped down from 408. Actually, we were at 410. 410 is the record that we've had here. Yeah. Oh, man. See, Davey Crockett, here's the thing. He says, I think it's unreachable because on average, most of your streams have 250 viewers. But then again, I didn't think you'd hit 400. Even though you're saying that, what you got to understand is that would be if it was the same 250 people coming back every stream. It's not. Like, I'm a variety streamer. So when I'm playing Elden Ring now, I got over 400 people on my stream and I haven't played the game yet. Then later tonight, I'll play Skyrim and it's a different audience. And then I'm going to play Lego later this week, and that's a different audience. And I play Street Fighter, and that's a different audience, you see? Is there some crossover? Yes. But there are distinct groups of people who watch my different content. And if you say, oh, he only has 250 viewers on a stream, correct. But you got to add up all the different audiences that I get over a week. Likely, there's about 1,000 to 2,000 unique individuals that actually come to my streams in a given week. Okay? And that's why when I say, oh, hit 400 members, it's definitely feasible. The problem is you have to try to figure out a way to that people would like the membership, which is tough when YouTube doesn't offer any features, you know? It's funny because I've been watching social media trends, and there's actually been a couple people recently who YouTube tried to buy them out and have them come to YouTube and stream exclusively. There's been 1 or 2 highly prominent streamers on Twitch who said that they wanted to come over here, or excuse me, that YouTube wanted them to come over here, and they outright publicly said they declined to do so. Why? Because the memberships aren't good, because there's no visibility or detectability on YouTube, and because they actually felt that their businesses would decline even if they took a big paycheck to come over. They're looking more long-term than instant gratification. So they were like, nah, I don't think if I go to YouTube it makes sense. It's going to actually make my business slow down, and I don't want that. You know? And that sucks. I really wish that YouTube would fucking wake up, but they won't. You know? They do what they want to do. When you gotta look at it this way. Okay? When you're put into a life situation where literally you can fuck up constantly and there's no consequences for it, what's to stop you from keep making bad decisions, right? The rich kid who's constantly drinking and driving, on drugs, doing terrible things, wrecking cars, doing horrible things, but his parents' money protect him from any repercussions, right? What do they call it? Affluenza. Oh, he has affluenza. He can't help himself from doing bad things. He's too rich, right? What's to stop him from ever learning and improving? YouTube's kind of the same. They've always had this big backing of Google money. It doesn't matter how many things they screw up or how much they fuck up, They're always going to be the biggest video sharing website regardless, because no one can stand up to the amount of financing that they have. So they literally never can fail. So they'll never really improve, right? I just find how silly it is that YouTube wants to pay people to leave Twitch to come to the site. For what reason? You're not improving the streaming. You're not living up to your promises about what you were going to improve. Why are you paying to bring people over here with literally no end game in sight? That's what I mean. They have like infinite money to play games, but they have no serious business plan. Or at least if they do, it's the most nonsensical business plan ever made, because there's no end in sight of any gain. You know what I'm saying? It's just so weird, man. So anyway, yeah. The point I'm making here is, with memberships being not very attractive, I've given you guys everything I can. I give you highlighted names, cool chat crown badges, getting slow-mo disabled for chatters, right? All these emotes, which, by the way, we still haven't decided on the emote for the channel. Right now, the 3 that everyone's thinking about is half of a dab, the Devour emote, or the Rasta fill emote, because then when people tip $4.20, you could use the Rasta fill emote. In fact, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards right now, because a lot of people do tip $4.20, and if that's the case, that way at least people will be able to use it right away, okay? But anyway, see the point I'm making? Like, I give you all these extra things on top of that. Oh, priority to get your questions answered on Ask the King. Oh, when we have special events for nominating and voting stuff, you'll have priority to vote, and you get your things up, you know, increased chance of this or that. I do as much as I can within the means of being a full-time content creator, but I can't over-promise and under-deliver, which is why I don't promise you guys, oh, I'm going to do private events and shit. When the hell am I going to have time for that? The moment that I do a private multiplayer event for members is a stream I can't do for my public, you know? So anyway, I really have to ask you guys, okay? I really have to ask you guys the following, all right? Can we hit 450 members this month? Realistically, can we hit it? All right? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to announce to you what we're doing for the members goal for this month. All right? Since it was so successful, all right, the members goal is absolutely going to be tied to DSP Reacts. It just makes sense to keep going with the wave of popularity that the show has right now. The first show was very successful. This next one that's coming up, you guys are successful. Okay? Okay. Now, here's what it's going to be. If we hit the members goal for May, all right, we are going to have a series of videos for you guys to choose from, all right? You will actually interactively choose the subject matter of the next DSP Reacts, putting the power into the hands of the viewers, all right? And the question, of course, is going to be, well, what will the choices be? All right? Well, already I can tell you a few interesting things that I would be interested in doing, okay? Number 1, down the rabbit hole on Spoonie, or the Spoonie experiment. Why am I interested in that? That's someone who used to be a content creator a very long time ago, was actually prominent and popular on the internet before I was, became a part of that guy with the glasses, became a part of big projects of his, okay? And was very, very well known on the internet. And apparently at some point, he lost his mind and had a big falling out with everybody, and no one likes him anymore. And apparently he doesn't even make content anymore, okay? So the reason I like that one is because that's something that personally appeals to me. I have no idea what the story is going to be because I don't know what happened to the guy. At one point, he actually insulted me on Twitter. And I was like, dude, I don't know why you're insulting me. Like, I actually used to like your content or whatever. And then he publicly, like, apologized. And I guess what it was is that, I guess somehow detractors had said something about me to him, and he thought that I had insulted him or something. It was like a misunderstanding. Okay? So anyway. So there you go. That's number 1. Another one I'd be interested in, okay, is something that I know absolutely positively nothing about. Down the rabbit hole of Temple OS. I guess this was a content creator or someone. I don't even know who he is. But people have said that that video is really good and interesting, but very weird. And they would love to see my reactions to some of the things in it. I actually know nothing about this person at all. So the difference there is that here's one of the frames of reference is someone who I know. I know their history. I know who they are as a content creator. The other person, I don't know at all. Okay? At all. I don't even know the person whatsoever. Okay? He was a famous Dota player. I didn't even know that until this moment. Yeah. Okay? Now, there's a lot of bad words with Terry. Oh, God. What did he say? Oh, God. Now, one thing I want to say, because people are being silly. I've already explained this to you guys. I need to explain it to you again. I can't react to something that I don't have permission to react to. Right now, I have permission to react to everything from Frederick Knudsen. So things from his channel are fair game. Other things would be like videos that don't necessarily have like an owner, all right, or more generalized content, right? I can't just pull any video off the fucking internet and say, I'm going to watch this video in its entirety and do commentary over it, okay? That's not legal. I have to get permission. Really? He wrote another whole operating system from scratch, that guy? Oh. Okay. No, that's not fair use. You're wrong. You're absolutely fucking wrong. That's not fair use. Fair use is I have a work that I want to use for commentary or criticism purposes, and I select pieces of the work to do commentary and criticism over. So I'll give you an example. If there's a 2-hour video and I select 30 minutes of content from the video and I talk over it, that's fair use. If there's a 2-hour video and I literally watch the entirety of the video from start to finish, not editing anything, just talking, that's not fair use. Because think of how stupid what you're saying is. Why can't they do that with a movie then? Why couldn't you just take fucking Spider-Man No Way Home, play it in its entirety, and do commentary over it? Because it's illegal. You can't fucking do it, so stop saying it's fair use. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about when you say that dumb shit. You sound so stupid. And there's people who say that shit all the time. They have no concept of fair use law. They're just dunces. Okay? Okay. Okay. Now. Alright, here's an idiot. Ban this idiot. Okay. So, excuse me. All that being said, it has to be something that I can get permission on. Alright? Now, I had another idea. Now, those are the two ideas I had so far with Spoonie in this Temple OS video. Okay? The other idea I have is something also very, very different. Alright? Very different. It's something to react to that actually, all right, I basically for a very long time didn't ever react to it at all, okay? But then over time, every once in a while said something here or there, but I never really went into full detail about it, all right? It's a video that I've basically stayed away from for a very long time, but it definitely has to do with my past. And it definitely has to do with things that I've basically come to terms with over a lot of time. All right? And I think that maybe this would be the time to kind of bring it up. All right? So, what would it be? All right? It would be... Boy, you guys, some people are just so stupid. You read the chat, it's like, oh, why am I should just... When I talk about this stuff, I just, like, close the chat. I see some of the dumbest things ever. Looking at it, I'm like, you got, oh my god. Okay. Actually, I don't even know if this is anything that people would be interested in. Alright? I don't know. I really don't. At this point, it's like so ancient history that pretty much almost no one talks about to this day anymore. At one point, yeah, it was pretty notable and big and everyone was talking about it. And then basically it's been so long, you know, since this went down that it's really not that big deal anymore. But there's actually two pieces of this puzzle. One half would be to try to get permission to go back to those original "this is how you don't play" style videos. Okay? The originals. I'm not talking the recent ones. I'm talking like seeing if I can get permission for the very first one from Evil AJ. And see if I could comment over that. Now, the funny part is, Evil AJ to this day thinks that I, like, copyright struck him down or something with his original video. And do you want to know the truth? I actually don't know if I did or not. I can't remember. And there's no way, that's so ancient YouTube, that's like 10 years, 9 years ago. You can't even go back and find out if you did. Because the system you used to use to do that shit doesn't even, like, exist anymore. So I have no idea. He, like, hates my guts. And he's like, oh, Phil tried to strike me down and all this shit. And I'm like, I honestly can't confirm or deny it. You know, 10 years ago, I was so angry about This Is How You Don't Play when the videos were first coming out. Maybe I did. But I have no record of doing it. Like, there's no way for me to actually look it up and see if I did it or not. Okay? You know, so I don't know. Is that one that I would reasonably be able to get? Because that wasn't it Metal Gear Solid. Was it 2 or 3? That was the first This Is How You Don't Play. I don't even remember. Right? So, yeah, I would have to get permission from him. Because that guy, man... You want to talk about someone who holds a grudge. This guy, like, years later, after the fact of him accusing me of doing these bad things to him, which, I can't even remember if I did them or not. I can tell you right now, my philosophy today is ignore everything. I don't claim anything. I haven't claimed anything in years and years and years. You know, I remember a long time ago, I tried YouTube's claim system, and it didn't work, and I just gave up on it. Like, I was trying to claim stuff that people were literally just lifting off my channel. They weren't doing commentary. It wasn't a This Is How You Don't Play. These were assholes just stealing my content outright and re-uploading it to their channel. And I tried to take it down, and it didn't even work because YouTube would just say, oh, well, they disputed it. And I'm like, well, I have a lawyer to sue them, and the shit would just go right back up within a couple of weeks, which is really stupid, okay? So... I remember when he said he would confront you when you did the panel back then, said Darziak. Who said that? Who did? Evil AJ said that? I don't know. I just know the guy, over the years, hates my guts, all right? And personally, I don't remember the whole situation. It's so long ago, I don't actually remember the truth of what really happened. Like, did I claim his videos or not? I don't know. I have no recollection. I'm not saying I didn't do it because I might have. Like I said, back then, I was so angry about people doing that, and I really felt wholeheartedly that this was theft of my content and that this was going to hurt me and my business and these people were trying to hurt me, that I very well might have done it. I just can't say I did. You know, I have no idea. Okay? So anyway, I know Clyde Baxter says he's not going to give you permission, but it's literally your content to begin with, right? Swaggin says it's stupid that Phil would need permission to react to a video of his own content. It is. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It is incredibly dumb. But you have to understand how YouTube's system works. YouTube has an automated system now. What they do is they detect a percentage of video based on what's in yours. So, for example, if I'm watching the original This Is How You Don't Play and I'm reacting to it, okay, someone can literally have an automated system flag it and say, oh, well, Phil used 20% of your video. Did you give permission? And if you say, no, claim it, it claims it. And it gives you a copyright strike. It's not just like, oh, it just claims the video. You get a copyright strike for it. And it's not true. There's no factual basis. It just happens. YouTube has this broken tool in place. It's really stupid. Okay? Lekmix says, why don't you ask Outsider? He's been doing them for 8 years. Well, here's the thing, too. The reason why I feel the original This Is How You Don't Plays would be interesting is because that's where they all started. I'd actually be able to watch it in its entirety and see exactly how all this hatred against me began. But also, I know for a fact that the ones back then aren't as bad. Like, you got to remember, over the years, what happened? This viral movement happened where people said, how can I leave the nastiest possible comment on Phil's videos so that I can be seen in a This Is How You Don't Play? And so people would say sexual things, racist things, insults about myself, my personal life, my family members, the most nasty, vile, disgusting shit you can think of. And they would literally put it on the video so that they could be highlighted in a This Is How You Don't Play. So if you're talking, oh, do a more recent one. It would be so disgusting. I'm not even going to touch it. Like, I'm just going to, you know what I mean? That's not content. That's just garbage. And I'm not touching that. At least when Evil AJ was doing these back in the day, his intent was to expose me for being a bad player. Saying Phil is not good at what he does, yet he's popular. Let's expose him and make fun of him for sucking ass at this game. Because here he is playing the game, insulting Kojima, doing dumb shit in the game, and I want to basically expose him and highlight the worst moments and let people see this guy ain't shit. Alright? Now, in reality, he's right to the extent that I wasn't trying to be shit back then. I wasn't caring about the quality of my content. I really didn't. I was pumping out as much content as possible. People didn't care either. They wanted me to pump out maximum content. Play through the games, rush through them, make fun of them, do your shtick where you rage and you scream and you insult and you do these things. This was my shtick back then. And then at some point, public opinion turned against me and said, your shtick is bad. But my shtick was very popular and you guys loved it. Well, now it's bad. Okay, well, I guess I got to change. And then it took a while, but I did eventually change. You see? So, that's what I mean. That's why I really think the originals are the more interesting ones. Not that anything more in the last 5 years is not even worth looking at. It's just trash. But anything back then, the original stuff where it all began, that's fascinating to me. To watch that and see, this is where the movement began. Wow. Right? Right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other idea I had, which is right in the same vein, okay? Something else completely different. Something from the past. Something that I really don't talk about that much anymore, although some people every once in a while bring it up. It's kind of not something that really affects me in the present, but it's something that for a long time people asked me to react to, and I said, no, I'm not going to. And then every once in a while, a little bit I talk about it, and blah, blah, blah. So, basically, in a nutshell, I could react, finally, 7 years later, to that video / audio podcast. I'm not even clear on what it originally was, because I don't think that the original file even exists anymore. But reacting to what Rambo and Howard said about me back in 2015, I have never responded to it. Only every once in a while, it'll come through in a video where someone will ask, and every once in a while, I'll address it very briefly. All right? But in this case, it would be like fully addressing it. You know, like actually going through it, listening to it, and responding. Okay? Because here's the truth, is that a lot of it is true. All right? A lot of it is true. And I've kind of admitted over the years, although I've never really directly admitted things, but my attitude as a person and a content creator back in the day, all right, not today, but back then, was very different compared to what I do today. And at one point in my life, it was like, okay, pump out content, 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 and everything around me kind of has to suffer for it. You know what I'm saying? Everything around me doesn't really matter. As long as I'm pumping out content, I'm getting views, I'm making a living doing it. And we had things that are in my personal life suffered as a result of it. You know what I'm saying? Actually, see, here's someone who's an idiot and didn't even watch the video. Dylan Harper Lee says, in 2022, you're going to further monetize Rambo and Howard without paying them, which is their largest complaint in 2015. That wasn't even their largest complaint. You didn't watch the video, you fucking idiot. That's a detractor spin on it, and it's completely false. Multiple times in the... Oh, I'm frozen? Chat, the stream is freezing. Oh, it's not on my end. That's on YouTube's end. I'm looking right now. I'm good. So this is a YouTube side issue. This happened the other day, too. Let me type in the chat. FYI, all it seems YouTube is having issues. Sorry if the chat is freezing or stuttering. It's not on my end. Yeah, it's not. Everything's fine. Yeah, it sounds to me like YouTube is having some issues right now. I don't know. We were over 500 viewers. Now we're down to like 420 out of nowhere. It just dropped 80 viewers in a second. It sounds to me like like it did buffer, like the whole stream stopped and then restarted maybe. Yeah. Are you guys good? Can you see the stream now? Okay. So anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. All right. No, one of the major issues that Rambo and Howard had with me back in the day was essentially that I was just a workaholic. If you watch the video, that's basically what they're saying. Phil neglected our friendship. Phil wasn't a good friend to us because Phil was all about work, work, work constantly. All he wanted to do was pump out content, pump out content, pump out content. Anytime we hung out, he had to film. Anytime we did this, he was doing, and they're right. They're absolutely right. Of course, I have a side to the story too that I've never told. The things that Dave said in that video are basically true. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's to some extent, absolutely, those things are correct. But John Rambo never had an issue with money. He even says it in the video. He says, I want to clear this up and say, hey, by the way, FYI, you know, I was always paid. And then Howard goes, oh, well, I wasn't. And the thing is, that's what I mean. I'm spoiling by basically reacting to it now because there's a good reason. And we could talk all about it, you know. The thing is, I don't want people to get the wrong idea, because if I react to that video, it's not going to be a situation where it's like I'm slamming those guys, okay? It's not. I'm basically going to be telling you the true situation of what happened behind the scenes, and essentially let you know, the truth of it, which most of it is true, and most of it is bad and damning to me, but I didn't know about any of it. And that was always my issue with that, was that they went out of their way to make this video. I've been talking to them and asking them. In particular, I say them. It's really not them. It's John Rambo, okay? Because I almost never directly talk to Howard, and that's something else that I can talk about, too, because it's just true, okay? I was in a situation where I was talking directly to John, and he was not responding. So you could argue that, yeah, you were a bad person. Yeah, I can agree to that, actually. I'll agree that I was not a good friend to them, because that really wasn't the kind of relationship that we had. But I never knew about the issues. I was never told at all, you know? And that's what I've always said, is that it's really messed up that they made that video if they really had issues with me, right? What they could have done is talked to me about the issues. Say, hey, we got these things we want to hash out. Let's do it. Let's talk about it, because this is why we're not appearing in your content. This is why we've been avoiding you. Instead of, let's just continually avoid you until the situation gets so bad because people on the internet are wondering what's going on, that we make a video that essentially destroys the relationship with Phil, so that way it'll close everything off and have an end to it. Because that's exactly what the video did. You know, that's exactly 100% what the video did. All right? So, that's an idea too. So to recap, my ideas for a members goal for May could be to react to a couple videos, or it would be one video, but we'd have to figure out what video it would be, off of Frederick Knutson's channel. It could be like Spooning Experiment, or it could be Temple OS. It could be something on there that people want. Or it could be attempting to get permission to do a reaction video to the original This Is How You Don't Play videos. I can't remember what they even are. I really don't know what the first one was. I would have to actually ask you guys what the original ones were to make heads or tails of it, and then try to get permission from all people Evil AJ, right? Or it could be reacting to the video, audio. Again, I don't even know what it is, because when it happened, when John and Howard made this recording, it got like pulled from the internet right away. And I don't know who did. Did they pull it? Because what happened is there was like a mirror to a mirror to a mirror, and that's what's still on the internet that you can find today. You can't find the original. I don't even know, was it an audio-only recording? Was there ever video to it? Because I've never seen video to it. I've only seen like the mirrored mirror. So I don't even know. And by the way, that's another issue, right? Since only copies exist of this recording, you actually don't know what if it's truthfully 100% intact, or are there excerpts missing? Is there parts that are changed? I don't even know. You know? And again, I nothing. If some people say, "Oh, people flagged it," I never flagged anything like that. Basically at first when that video came out, I heard about it, and I knew it was probably gonna be really bad, because that was probably at that point in my life the most like really hurtful thing that had ever happened to me, because I really had a deep trust and friendship in particularly in John, and the fact that he would participate in something like that to try to basically tear me down when he knew who I was for real, he knew, you know, how much that could hurt me. Not only personally, but, you know, financially as well. Because if a lot of people hate me and turn on me and my content because he says bad things about me, that could really concretely hurt me. And I thought that if he had an issue with me, he would have told me. And he didn't, you know. I didn't watch it for a while. And then I did. And when I finally watched it, my God. Like, it really did destroy me. I felt awful when I watched. I was like, damn. And again, I'm watching. I'm like, well, they're right, but I didn't know. And that's what really irked me, is if I had known about the stuff that was happening and that it was bothering them, that I could have fixed it, and I never knew. And that's what really sucks. That's what really, really sucks about it, is that I'll never have that opportunity to really talk to them. And I know that now. And I'm okay with it. I've come to terms with it over the years. It's been 7 years since they made that video, and they've made absolutely no effort to reach out to me. I'm the public guy who has every means to be contacted, and they haven't, which means they don't care. 7 years later, they have lives, they moved on. John doesn't even make content for the internet for several years now. He's moved on, and I'm happy for them that they did. They got out of the vortex of drama that is the fucking internet. Thank God, because I know that was killing them. They say as much in the video that they don't like being pulled into that vortex of drama shit, and that was negatively affecting them to be associated with me, and I totally understand that. Okay. Evil AJ says, I need to reach out to him directly to ask for permission. How would I do that? I don't have any idea how to contact the guy. Does anyone know how to contact him? Is there an email address? Is there a way? Because I you know, I'm sure I'm blocked on Twitter. If anyone has any idea how to contact him, let me know. All right. Anyway, that being said, those are my ideas. So let's recap. React to something from Frederick Knudsen, in particular, like Spoonie Experiment or Temple OS. React to one of the original This Is How You Don't Play videos from back in the day. If not the original, one of the originals. Okay? Or react to the recording of John, Rambo, and Howard from 2015 that I've never actually publicly addressed before fully. And go through it. Okay? There you go. Those are the choices. But the question is, what do you guys want? And the question is, do you guys think any of those are good enough to hit 450 members? And so what I will do, we'll set it up. Let's start building towards it. All right? Let's start building towards 450. All right? And let's see what happens. We got a whole month, right? We already have, in 2 weeks' time, we already have a DSP React set up for the Dark Side Phil video on Down the Rabbit Hole. All right? So we already got the next project set up. Let's see how this goes. All right? Okay. Okay. The one thing that I want to talk about, go to his community tab. You can contact him there. I don't know his YouTube channel. Are you talking about Evil AJ? I don't know his YouTube channel. This is funny. People like, send him a message on Twitter. I don't know his Twitter. I don't know. I guess I'd have to do some research. It's Evil AJ 2010. Okay, Evil AJ 2010. I'll have to remember that. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Now I know at least how to try to find the guy. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. So, I have one thing to talk about before we get to Elden Ring today. Only one. All right? YouTube's fucking up. And as of this morning, I just want to confirm that they're still fucking up, because I'm pretty positive they are. Let me refresh here. Oh, it fixed? Wow, it took that long, but it finally cleared. Holy shit. Well, live update. All right, allow me to explain the situation going on right now, okay? As you guys know, I'm playing Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. I've been playing it for over 20 hours, and we're heading into the finale. I'm doing the final 2 movies, and then finally it's going to conclude, okay? All of a sudden, in the last week, I've been having tons of problems with this playthrough. Allow me to explain why. As I'm playing through it, certain videos and even the archived streams are getting content ID matched on YouTube for the real movies. Now, I just want you to understand something. The Lego version of the movie scenes is not actually the movie scenes. It's not the same actors. It's not even the same voices. It's all, you know what I'm saying? It's completely different, but they're actually matching it. And when they match it, they block it. All right? It's not, oh, a claim. Okay, I mean, the videos are getting claimed anyway for the music. They're blocking the videos, saying that I'm republishing the actual movies when I'm not. Okay? So the reason I'm bringing this up is because a couple days ago, one of the Lego archive streams was hit. Now, I don't care about the Lego archive stream being hit because it doesn't affect anything. No one watches the archive streams. They're put on private anyway, so it's not a big deal. Funny enough, the gameplay videos, okay, were not hit, even though the gameplay videos are exactly the same content as the archive stream, just split up. It wasn't claimed. Figure that one out. So just on arbitrary use of the YouTube algorithm doesn't work right. Because if it flags one version of the content but not another, but it's the same content, it doesn't make sense. They should both be flagged, right? Whatever. But the reason that I bring this up today is because last night I uploaded my latest batch of Lego Star Wars gameplay. And this featured the conclusion of the Force Awakens movie, the intro and first couple of stages of the Last Jedi movie. Okay? Well, guess what happened? Well, part 24 of the playthrough got claimed for music, but it's fine, it's live. Part 25 of the playthrough got claimed for music, but it's fine, it's live. Part 26 blocked worldwide. Why? Because they think it's the fucking actual Last Jedi movie. I don't know how, alright? So then I looked into it further to say, how could this be? Like, this is so asinine and stupid. How could their algorithm possibly be this bad? Alright? Here's what happened, okay? It's claiming, listen to this, the intro crawl of the game is identical to that of the movie, and because the entirety of the movie was uploaded to YouTube for copyright purposes, it's matching the intro crawl of that portion of the game to the movie. How fucking stupid is that? Right? So basically Disney, in all of their stupidity, didn't realize that they were going to have the same intro crawl from the movie in the game, and anyone who's playing the game is going to have their videos blocked on YouTube as a result. Doesn't make any sense. So last night, part 24 actually worked. Part 25 worked. The last part never showed up. So people didn't even know there was a missing part. Unless you were on the stream to see that I had started the next movie, you would have thought that I stopped recording at the end of The Force Awakens. But I didn't. I had a whole other hour of gameplay. Alright? So, how did I fix this situation? Well, YouTube gives you an option to edit out the portion that's claimed. Alright? Because it wasn't an audio match. It was an actual visual match. It matched the intro crawl to that of the movie and claimed it was exactly the same frame for frame. So I said, alright, let's use this YouTube tool to remove the intro crawl so hopefully the video will be able to be viewed worldwide. Okay? So I told YouTube to do this around 6:30 p.m. last night. Okay? So for some frame of reference, it is now 12:19 p.m. the next day. So that's 18 plus hours after. Alright? I initiated the process 18 hours ago. The process of editing out 1 minute of the video on YouTube took that fucking long. It just showed up during the pre-stream that I'm making right now. I was checking all night and the video was still blocked. It literally just went live. Now, this moment. So, what's funny about this is that people say to me, hey, Phil, why don't you utilize the tools that YouTube gives you. Aren't you aware that YouTube has its own built-in video editor? Why don't you use that video editor? Because you claim you don't have software yourself, but YouTube lets you edit your own stuff. Yeah, right. First of all, if you have a video that is longer than, I think it's longer than 5 hours, I want to say, there's actually like some weird measurement that they use. And if your video is longer than that, you can't edit it. And I know this because one day I did a marathon stream, and one of the videos in the marathon stream got screwed up. So I wanted to rip that portion out of the archive, and it literally said, error, cannot do it because your video is too long. That's incredibly stupid. Just ridiculously dumb. All right? But then on top of that, even if you get a video you can edit, you have to wait 18 hours for it to edit a minute out of it. I don't think even the slowest video editor out there, even the free shit that sucks, is faster than 18 hours to cut out 1 minute of video. All right? So, yeah, that really annoyed me. But I don't think there's anything I could do about it. What I'm thinking is when we start the final movie, I have to edit out the crawl, just skip it. Which sucks because guess what? The final movie, what's it called? The Rise of Skywalker? That's the one I didn't really see. I never saw. So I was going to use this game as a way to explain the plot of the movie. And now I can't even read the fucking introduction. It just doesn't make any sense how YouTube works, man. It doesn't. They don't. Everything's automated and they don't care. And you know, it's just one of the frustrations that I've come to accept over the years being a part of YouTube and doing YouTube for a living. They're never going to have actual effort when it comes to this stuff. It's just going to be an automated thing. Their excuse is we've grown too big. It's your own fault you grew that big. No one set up the server space. No one set up the site for you. You did it. You created the monster, and now you can't control it. And you created these really broken, improper AIs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just, it's annoying. So for those of you who are actually interested in the Lego Star Wars playthrough, there's a new video live right now. You didn't know. You were probably expecting it to go live yesterday. It just went live this morning. And you can watch it. It's part 26, and it should actually be in the playlist if you want to watch it. Okay? And my apologies that it took that fucking long. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay. Let's do some shout-outs. On the YouTube side of stuff, we start off today with Darkness, who re-upped his membership for 12 months as he's starting his 12 month of support right now. And he says, hey, how are you? The pollen here is so bad. Yeah, the pollen here is bad. Luckily for us, we live in a very damp climate. It's been very rainy, and because of that, it's not as bad as it could be. If it wasn't and everything was insanely constantly in full bloom, we'd probably be sneezing and coughing constantly. But yeah, you might notice on a stream, I start touching my face, my nose, my mustache, because my face itches because of the stupid pollen. And my wife and I both have been sneezing constantly recently. So, okay. Oh, you know what? That's a good point. White Mojo Wolf says, why don't I put the camera on like I'm doing right now? Watch the intro. All you'll hear is the audio, and I can read the intro, and you just won't see the crawl, but that way I can still do it. You're right. I think that's what I'll do. That's actually really smart. Thank you, White Mojo Wolf. That's exactly what we're going to do when we get to the third and final movie in Lego. Awesome. Silver Bullet did a super chat saying that people who restream your streams are cringe. I'll tend to believe you, but I wouldn't know because I don't watch them, but thanks for the support, and thanks for the corroborating message. Ban a Ham Yum did a super chat and said this will be the year of DSP. Well, I mean, I hope. I hope that the next year goes really well. We'll see. I mean, I've been now on YouTube almost a full year. It's actually within the next 1 to 2 weeks that I hit that actual full year anniversary. But you got to understand that it took me a while to properly really get set up here and get things going in a way that felt professional. You know, when I first moved over, it was uncontrollable. There's trolling constantly. I didn't have perks set up properly for members. It was just like a mess trying to convert and move over here the way I did. But I would say by the end of the year, things were really good. Like when I started the PreStream podcast and we're actively now doing new things, I feel like now things are getting much better. So thank you for the super chat. Ian did a super chat saying, would you consider reacting to Mr. Metocore's video about the fake prostitute? I don't know anything about it. As I've told you guys, Um, in my opinion, nothing that's happened since in 2017 I made a big life change, right? My life really just shuffled and reset, hit the reset button in 2017. My personal life, my content, everything changed. And since then, the attitudes of the people on the internet changed too. Instead of becoming, oh, criticize Phil for the content he puts out, it became completely try to destroy Phil from a personal side of things that has nothing to do with his content on the internet, right? And I don't want to go there. That is the endless toilet of shit that you'll never escape from once you get in there. It's like the vortex of toxic stuff. It's all bullshit. It's all fake. It's all nonsense. And I don't want to deal with complete fabrications, conspiracies, and bullshit. I just don't. That's the slippery slope. You want to talk about the things in the past that really happened, right? Things in my past that I've never addressed. The original This Is How You Don't Play videos, my history with John, Rambo, and Howard, the original video covering my early history as a YouTuber all the way up through 2017, all the mistakes I made. That's all factual shit that happened, and you can say, here it is in black and white, and now, you know, I can address that stuff. But if you start talking about the shit from the last, like, 5 years, like, literally, the stuff from 5 years, the last 5 years is bullshit. It's all bullshit. Take a snippet of truth from here and completely extrapolate upon it with complete fucking nonsense and speculation and fabrication and say it's real, and everyone just says it ad nauseum on the internet till everyone believes it's real through this weird cultish groupthink mentality. Why the fuck would I want to touch that with a 10-foot pole? Like I said, those people, you'll never win over. Those people are the goalpost movers. If I were to address anything that happened in the last 5 years, immediately the goalpost moves further. So don't touch it. Let their toxic shit stay toxic. Let them keep holding their own hands and singing Kumbaya in their little joking fucking restreams and shitty areas of the internet, and stay the fuck out of my content. Okay? But my real past, that I will address. Okay? Okay. Not Swaggins has re-upped his membership for 10 months. I laugh because obviously it's Swaggins. And he says, love the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup title design. Do you like it? I think it's supposed to be a hybrid between Castlevania, but the color scheme of kind of like Metroid. So it combines the two. It's kind of neon, though. Like, if that were yellow and orange, I would say that's Peanut Butter Cup. It's kind of like highlighter colors. It definitely bites, though, right? Like it pops off the top. I like it. Argos did a super chat. He says, will you react to... Oh, wait a minute. I skipped it one. Ectoplasm did a super chat and said, did you fix your ant problem? Fix, I hope. Basically, what I did is for a full week, I had a fresh new can of ant spray. And I kept spraying the back of my house. And after about a week, the ants never came back. So now we're opening the back door, and the ants don't come in anymore. Now, in the meantime, other things happened too. Landscapers came by and completely did our whole backyard. And there was several, like, bouts of rain. So it could have been one of many different things. It could have been the weather. It could have been the landscapers disturbed the anthill. It could have been that the ants actually got affected by the ant spray. Or I have the traps in the house. Maybe one of the ants took the food, went back, and they're all dead now. I don't know. But it's been about a week, and I haven't seen an ant. So there you have it. Argos did a super chat and says, will you react to anime on stream? No, unless I want to get all my content completely shut down permanently, I will not do that. I mean, just take a look at, who is that guy that last year, he was well known for doing reaction videos, analyzations of the plot, reviews of anime stuff, and he got completely destroyed by an anime company. Like, his whole channel was, like, fucked up. So can you imagine if that was my business? Hoy, that would be really bad. So no, I'm not touching that with a 1,000,000-foot pole. I'm staying away from anime. Okay, shout-outs time on the tip side of things. We actually start off with Rob on Wheels, who did a $6.66 tip. He says, you know, clicking hide chat on YouTube is the greatest button in the history of the internet. Yeah, and particularly, as I've already stated, because we're doing Elden Ring today, where it's the toughest fight in the game, I fully predict you're going to have a lot of toxic people who are going to behave poorly today. Luckily, we do have some moderators who are here to help. All right, but I guarantee you're going to have some really messed up stuff going on. Nasty, toxic stuff. So you might want to close your chat and just watch me try to beat the boss. Okay? Thank you, Rob, for the tip. Based Side Phil to the $1.50. He says, we believe in DSP today. Malenia Trump falls. I'm pretty sure that's not who I'm fighting today. Mad respect from Texas. Hope you'll come over here and try out Whataburger. and our steaks. Yeah, I've been to Texas a bunch of times. I've never tried Whataburger. I saw them when I was there, but I never tried it. And I never had a Texas-style steak. Thank you for the tip. Dark Side Sussy Baka, don't ask me what that means, tipped me $1.50 and says, have you ever considered doing Sleeping with the King where we watch you sleep in bed at night? Yes. And in fact, that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the month. There'll be no gameplay. I'm just going to sit here and sleep in my chair. How does that sound? Malekith the Black Blade tipped me $1.50. Says, here's a tip for you. This is the correct way to dodge the waterfall dance. Forwards, backwards, pause. Forwards, pause. Forwards, backwards. I've been getting messages and comments and things like this for the whole week. One person was like, you must immediately unlock the camera, turn, and run as far as you can, as fast as you can, as soon as she starts to float. Then you must jump to dodge the first few strikes of the attack. Then as you land on the ground, you must roll forward twice, and then the second wave will pass through you. Then stop, turn around, roll the other way. It's like, god damn. They're serious business with this. Like, this attack is so ridiculous. People must have practiced, like, for hours and hours and hours and hours, right, to figure this out. Anyway, we're going to figure it out. This is the one thing I have to overcome today, okay? So thank you for that. And then Dan the Man, with a whopping $20 tip, he says, hey, Phil, what's going on, Dan? How are you doing? Appreciate the $20 tip. Big, generous contribution. And he says, hey, Phil, what's going on, Dan? How you doing, man? You ready for today? I hope so. All right, guys, so I've blabbed enough. Let's end the pre-stream. I'm going to run and quickly use the restroom. Like 2 minutes. Just, you know, drain the lizard, as they say. And then it is Malenia. Take one. Probably about an hour of me trying to beat her. And if that doesn't work, you know, I'll take a break, come back, and keep trying. This is my whole focus today is this boss. All right, guys? All right, let's do this. I'm excited.